As you just said, Matt, it could end up being a very pricey day for the city of Albuquerque.
Anytime now, the jury could say how much money the city must compensate the family of Kenneth Ellis. He's an Iraq War veteran killed by Albuquerque police 3 years ago. Detective Brett Lampiris-Tremba shot and killed Ellis while Ellis was holding a gun to his own head after being pulled over in the Heights back in 2010. The judge has already ruled this shooting violated Mr. Ellis's constitutional rights. Now the jury must determine how much the city should pay for that and if the traffic stop that led to the standoff was legal to begin with. Also, if the police department made a mistake when hiring Mr. Lampiris-Tremba in the first place.
It does train its officers to communicate. Where it failed was in hiring and retaining a man who was incapable of comprehending the awesome responsibility that he bore.
What happened on January 13th, 2010 was a tragedy. But it's not a tragedy because this man became a police officer in this community.
The family is also asking the jury to force the city to pay what Mr. Ellis would have earned in his life, including the value to his family and his son. An expert witness estimates that is about $5.8 million.
The president of the Albuquerque City Council wants the city's top cop out. According to the Albuquerque Journal, Council President Dan Lewis says it's time for a change. He wants APD Chief Ray Schultz gone. Lewis says the department's reputation has been tarnished by all the cases of alleged excessive force. And now there's a federal investigation into all of those allegations. Chief Schultz responded saying he's proud of the work done by his officers and will continue working hard for the city. Well, it turns out the cop who's accused in a phony money operation in Santa Fe could be in a whole lot more trouble.
And we have the video to prove this. Take a look at what happened inside a Dillard store. A security guard roughs up a woman here that he claims was shoplifting. The pictures here show just how bruised and scarred she was after that. Well, Rick Sandoval, an attorney, says the security guard you're seeing is Anthony Rivera. This man, the same guy who just retired from Santa Fe's police department, who's now a Tesuque tribal police officer and who's accused of making and passing around fake cash.
All I can say to that is it shows me that there's a pattern here of something that people need to seriously look into and question.
Now, neither the security guard nor the woman accused of shoplifting are facing criminal charges, but she is suing Mr. Rivera and Dillard's. Rivera is on paid leave from Tesuque Tribal Police right now. Well, folks in 30 homes in Albuquerque's Northeast Heights could have a tough time getting ready for work and school today because their water might still be out. A water main burst yesterday morning here near Tramway and Copper. Crews made a big mess trying to clean everything up and get it back to normal. They had to block off part of Jewel Place, so give yourself a few extra minutes if you drive through that area.
A motorcyclist remains in critical condition after a bad crash in northwest Albuquerque. We told you about it yesterday morning. The crash happened at Paseo, Del Norte, and Coors early in the morning yesterday. The cops say the rider appeared to be speeding. Alcohol was not a factor. The victim's name has not been released. Well, the driver accused of causing that crash that killed a popular fire chief in Sandoval County is now facing misdemeanor charges.
Armando Saenz is now charged with failure to maintain a lane, possession of a controlled substance, and tampering with evidence. These are all misdemeanors. Back in July, investigators say Saenz lost control of his SUV on I-25 and slammed into fire chief John Tibbetts' SUV, causing it to crash, land on its roof, and kill Tibbetts. Police say they found small amounts of spice and marijuana in Saenz' car. They also say there was some in his system, but not enough to charge him. The convicted murderer accused of having his own mother smuggle drugs to him is now set to be back in court in just a few hours. Travis Regal is set to be sentenced next week. That's in a case where he killed someone back in 2009. The last time he was due for sentencing, investigators say his mom gave his lawyers an envelope full of papers and, yes, drugs. Regal could spend 45 years in prison for the murder and 6 more for the drug smuggling, and now his mom could face charges too.
Still no suspects this morning in that triple shooting that happened earlier in the week. It left one person dead in Albuquerque's Northeast Heights. A wounded man showed up at someone's front door near Pennsylvania and Indian School Tuesday night. Trails of blood led officers to a body in another home. A third victim was found shot in a parking lot. Yesterday, police searched the home where the body was found. They are also withholding the victims' names until they find out more information.
Someone has been robbing money and loan shops on Manal in the past few weeks, and now we have video of the crook in action. Check it out. It shows a guy pulling up there in a white car, maybe a Pontiac. He walks in, he robs the place, then he drives off. It's hard to see the guy's face. He's got that hoodie on, but police hope that you recognize his clothes, his mannerisms, or maybe his car. As early as today, we could learn more about a body found south of Albuquerque and a body shop that may be connected to it. State police were out at Red's Old School Hydraulics near San Pedro and Zuni yesterday night and possibly looking for some DNA evidence. The investigation is all about a body found in the Rio Grande and Socorro last month. It led them to this body shop, but investigators are not saying why that was just yet.